One more cycle, double buff, bottom lane being controlled by Keldra. Keyboy is there to help a little
Oh, they want to
bit.
make a play. They want to make a play on Kelra. They're going to drop the Eternal Guard. They get the Terrify off, but oh, they miss a little bit. Kelra's trying to get away. The cable, though. He's 1 HP away. That Eternal Guard quite hurtful, but he's actually going to be able to go back to the base, and now can they get back in time? This is Flying Cloud, so they will be able to travel very quickly. Again, a big factor here is the map that they're currently playing on, the Clouds being able to bring them back quickly, reposition themselves. So a good attempt by BTR to try to take out Kelra, but it just didn't happen.
Did force out the flicker onto Kelra, and Moreno will have his flicker first. It seems like they have already started with the Glorious Pathway, but no commitment just yet, even after circling Eagle Daisu. It's interesting that BTR are wasting some of their ultimates just looking for an opening.
I think they're really just trying to delay ONIC and make them second guess this. One of the strengths, again, of having a Matilda, and it looks like even ONIC doesn't know if they want to fully commit to these mind games of BTR as the Lord is just dragged back and forth between both squads. Looks like Niall's got something else in mind. He wants to go ahead and take the purple buff. He wanted to see if Kyrie would rotate for it. So he's going to take it away, win a crown for Finn. This could have been also part of the plan, man. Just wait for some of these defensive items to be available to make it happen. They know that this Lord alone could potentially get them to the base turrets of ONIC and vice versa. Loopy, half health, taking some damage here. Shogun as well, he's quite low. They're gonna go for Loopy. Loopy pops it, whoa, pops it, Daytona's welcome, but he was so low, he's gone. They're gonna set it up in the mid lane as Shogun goes next, and Niall's gotta get out of there because he's low. So now it's gonna be a reset. He's gonna go back to base, and ONIC will reset as well.
The pokes of coming out from BTR was enough for Lutpi to be forced to make that play. Albeit, good catch coming out from Lutpi, but he was far too low. So when he popped the Daytona's welcome on the right target, the damage was too much for him to handle. He was taken out. And Keyboy had to pop the flicker just to salvage that fight. So it's an XP for XP trade-off. But flickers, battle spells, I mean, gonna be more available for BTR in just quite a while. So ONIC really has to delay this for themselves.
Oh! Huge Eternal Guard dropped down, and Kyrie goes down too. It's a double for Niall. They knew that Kelra was down to the bottom wave, and they set it up, and now in the mid lane, they're going for Kelra. Kelra, he's got stacks, he's got some shields, but he's all against the world. For BTR.
Oh my god, Moreno! The problem for ONIC for the longest time, and showing no signs of stopping, my man. And now, look at them knock into the front door.
They just want to take this turret out. They're going to be back up here. BTR knows it. They're happy with the base turret for now. They still have the Lord to go ahead and spawn and start marching forward. But man, oh man, what a setup from BTR. Taking a look at the items here, Wolf, you see what they've got available. I mean, even the Brute Force breastplate now for Niall is why it's so difficult to actually burst him down, you know, to kill him down. He's in, and even enough to kind of work around that is just how does ONIC play the long game here? The long map is what they're dealing with, and that moment of Kelra being on the bottom side made this happen. Now they're going for the bottom turret. They still got to deal with the Lord here. They're going to go ahead and try to clear out the last cannon minion. Kelra will be able to do that, so they maintain the base bottom turret. Tier 2's all down. ONIC sees BTR knocking at championship point for this one, but they'll clear out the waves and they manage it well as Lord goes down too.
Moreno's just playing out of his mind in this whole grand final. Even in the game that they've lost, still Moreno playing so well, and this game, he is a problem for ONIC.
They just want this base turret, little fake out here. Glorious Pathway drop down, Eternal Guard, they're going for Keyboy, he's quite low, picks up the immortality. He's gonna be fine, and BTR, they take the discipline route to back off. They got 2 base turrets off that Lord, and now ONIC gets another chance to go ahead and reset and not let that happen again.
It's really dicey spot here for ONIC. You know what's one thing that's fortunate for them is that the Lord will spawn onto the short lane, where their short lane is the side that was pushed up, and their long lane, they still kept their turret intact in that in that lane, so they still have a fighting chance. But now we've reached critical mass for BTR. The Fanny has been a problem and now is a full problem with this brute force breastplate, so that there is additional anti-CC that you get. So that means that the small amount of crowd control that they have with the Ruby is definitely not going to be enough anymore. And he's also tankier, so gotta be careful about that, mindful about that. ONIC also does not have a marksman, so at this point in the game, he can only do so much with the Paquito. You will need the help of your teammates, which means that a 5-man wipe coming out from ONIC is difficult to pull off. You really have to slowly trickle down BTR if you want to score that. So everything is just difficult now for ONIC.
It's crazy how, again, the story happens. It looks like they're going for a sandwich play to cut off Lutby. He has no stacks. He could be in trouble. Pops the flicker. They're going to go and crash down on him. Eternal Guard again, and Loopy is gone. Without the stacks of Feathered Airstrike, he's going to be stunned by Shogun. Good play. Emon still alive as Kelra gets a shutdown. But again, the stun comes through as Keyboy falls, and now Kelra on the run. He's quite low. A quarter of the health. They're going to chase him down. He has the shields, though, so he's going to be fine, but they got a wave to deal with. Down bot and BTR without Nile, though. I don't think they can get much more, even though they're in the base here, unless ONIC decides to go ahead and go for a defense. They're going to try to make something happen. Glorious Pathway dropped down. Finn goes in. Do they want to lock onto the base here? They're trying to delay this as much as they can. But again, the combos come through. Kelra picks up an immortality, but he's going to be in trouble and taken down by Emon. And Moreno goes in with a flicker. It's a double for Emon. The setup from the Maestro, a triple. And they're looking to end it here. Can he get the Maniac? They don't even need it. They're going to go for it and then the base. And there you go. Bigatron by Vitality. They want to go for more. They want the Savage, but they don't care. They'll take the championship from ONIC here.
Denied of a back-to-back championship run, not only in this tournament, but also in a tournament prior to this. BTR has got ONIC's number.